I meant to tell you I called JG Wentworth. Remind me after the podcast is over to fill you in on that.
Did you get your? What does it get your money now? Or?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you all about it.
All right.
AOA podcast back for another episode. Frankie C's in the house. What up, big dog?
What is happening?
Lots of stuff, including these darn Epstein documents. I got to clear up something here because the internet is letting us down.
What?
Luckily for the
How
world,
could it be?
we're here to set the
Oh.
record straight. You know what I'm
Are
saying?
we not the internet? We're not part of the internet.
We're above it.
Oh, good.
The Ohio environmental accident continues. Got more on that. Chris Cuomo is crazy. I'm going to share you some details. Plus, we remember Raquel Welch. Katie Nolan is out at Apple. Chris Stapleton comments on the crying Eagles coach. U2's absolutely insane Sphere deal. The 32
Sphere deal.
Yes, the 32-year-old who has never been kissed. DMB
This isn't
challenge
your
update
autobiography, is it?
and more. No.
All right.
I kissed before 32. Wasn't a lot, but I
don't
did
know
it.
your rules.
Frankie C's been learning a Dave Matthews song. We're going to get an update on this episode. We're not forgetting because I've been dying for an update, my friends.
Don't forget it. It's on you. It's weird. Your background looks very dark. You're well lit,
Really?
but the squares behind you look very like you're in Dracula's house.
Just let me know if a balloon flies by, okay? Is there anything moving back there? Just give me a
If
signal.
I spot him, I'll tell you.
All right. On the stop it. On the last episode or the one before that, we told you about the Daily Mail's reporting that they are going to finally release all the documents in an Epstein trial that had occurred. So we were going to get unredacted John and Jane Doe information that had previously been titled John and Jane Doe. There is a internet rumor. I saw it on TikTok. I saw it on Twitter. People were like, here it is. We got the information early. That is not the information that the Daily Mail was talking about. That is not the documents that we are waiting for. Previous flight logs and everything else have been released. Like we've seen all that information before. This is different. This was the last stand, the last holdout. We've heard some of these names before. I'm sure the names that are finally actually released and named have been rumored. But there might be a couple that we don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what's in there. It hasn't been released. That is previous stuff. The stuff that you're seeing on the internet, stuff that you're seeing on TikTok, as of today, Wednesday, February 15th, not true. That has been stuff that has been out and around on the internet for a while. Exactly. Don't believe that
yet. We'll tell you when it's out.
We will tell you when it's out. Don't believe some idiot on TikTok, okay, or some dope with a YouTube channel. Believe
honestly, or two dopes. Don't believe them. That's just ridiculousness.
At least we have some sort of. Listen. You know this. We are entertainers. We are podcasters. I never claim to be journalists, but we do have some journalistic integrity where we will at least make sure we get it right before telling people as much as we can. These people are like, oh, there's Epstein documents going to be released. And then they Google and then they see an Epstein document from like 5 years ago. And they're like, this must be it. Here it is. And then they go on TikTok. They're getting 1 million views and it's fucking not true information.
Maybe we're trying too hard. They get 1 million views doing that. We get the views we get doing the truth. I don't know. Maybe we should make stuff up.
Maybe we should start making stuff up.
What are we doing here?
I don't know.
Apparently, Corn Dog has mad cheese.
What?
Corn Dog says, "Yo, I got mad cheese."
There you go. That's good.
Just saying.
I'm not gonna lie to you, Frank. I'd love a corn dog right now with some cheese on it. That would be
delish.
Unbelievable. Did you hear that Miss Rachel was on Epstein's island?
Who's Miss Rachel?
Exactly.
What?
I'm just starting rumors that are not true. Miss Rachel, you wouldn't know this. Miss Rachel's like the new Elmo. Like everybody loves Miss Rachel.
Is Miss Rachel a Muppet of some kind?
No, she's just a real human being.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear what the Miss Rachel controversy is, though?
Oh, God, what?
So Miss Rachel, much like Blippi before her, which my kids lived through, Blippi.
Don't know Blippi.
She's just one of these people that make kids shows on YouTube.
Oh, and she's a YouTube person. Okay.
Yeah, these people have been blowing up because parents don't have regular cable or whatever the way they used to back in the day, so they just put on YouTube, they Google kid show,
Right.
boom, Blippi shows up. Today it's Miss Rachel. And Miss Rachel sits there, and Miss Rachel's good for like your 1 or 2 or 3 year old, and Miss Rachel talks to you, and she's very animated. And she's a pretty looking girl, I guess, and she wears bright outfits, that kind of thing. Very simple, very stuff that a 1 year old would be into.
Got it.
So parents of today are like surviving on Miss Rachel because they put Miss Rachel on, and they don't have to worry about actually raising their kids, which is what I did with my kids in Blippi.
Beautiful.
Somebody found out her real name, started Googling around, and started like pulling up all these crazy photos of her and like all these like songs that she used to sing on the internet. And they're like, "Can you believe Miss Rachel was like trying to like be a singer or this or that?" And I'm like, yeah, people try to be successful. Like, what do you expect?
Oh no, she tried a different career before. You think she woke up and she was born yesterday as an adult and said, "I'm going to start a YouTube channel"? She had however many years before where she lived her life.
I think people get really upset when they come to find that these like kid show people didn't grow up dreaming to be kid show people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they're like,
I heard Cookie Monster sold furniture before he was on
it's true, actually.
Sesame Street.
On Epstein's Island, if you want to be totally honest.
Oh shit, that I didn't hear.
Yeah. Didn't move a lot of couches on Epstein Island, but still, he tried. He gave the good old college effort.
That's fucked up.
It was the same thing with Blippi too. This guy Blippi like hits basically because he was like some marketing guy, and he looked around and was watching his like nephew or niece one day or something. And he was like, "There's no great shows for kids on YouTube," so he decided to make one. It gangbusters took off. Every episode he was putting out was getting like 32 million views.
So it was a guy named Blippi,
and he wore like an orange and blue shirt. No, he wore a blue shirt with orange suspenders, an orange and blue crazy weird hat, and just jeans and like sneakers. And I mean, he got so big, like people were coming to him with like sneaker deals. And like you could go out now and buy Blippi sneakers, like Blippi's in Target, all that stuff. Like,
wow,
we had a Blippi party for our kids.
The first I'm hearing a Blippi.
You weren't at that Blippi party? Did you not?
I don't get invited to your things.
You get invited to every one of our things.
I don't get invited.
Anyway, we had like
I would have remembered a Blippi.
We had a Blippi impersonator. He came and they did a magic show in the back. He might not have come. He might have been on a cruise, actually. We did it in the summertime. Now that I'm remembering.
That could be.
Yeah. Anyway. And so the thing blew up like crazy. So now they're like, people are coming to him for deals and everything. And he's like, I just want to make a vid. Like he would go to like the science center and like slide down the slide and play with the bubble thing. And we get like 40 million views, So he's making all his money hand over fist, but they come to him and they go, "You got to do like a tour. You got to like do all these things." So he was like, "I don't want to do all those things.
I don't got to do shit. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
What did he sign contracts where he had to do that?
So they rope him they get him to agree to do a tour. And he decides that he doesn't want to go. So he trains this other guy to be the Blippi on tour. No. People lost their minds. They were like, "This isn't the real Blippi. This is bullshit." It was this huge controversy. Like it was like, I don't know whatever happened to it because I just stopped paying attention after a while. My kids stopped watching them. So, but yeah, they were.
He's still blipping out.
But it's somebody plays Elmo. And then the Elmo on tour ain't the Elmo that's the Elmo on TV,
There's a 9 out of 10 chance you're not going to know anyway.
Yeah.
If the Elmo guy is really good, doesn't have to look like the guy. It could just be the same friggin' puppet and the guy who does a good voice.
Yeah. Meanwhile,
that you can get away with a little more. But Blippi, you get a different Blippi up there. People are going to notice.
So we go to hire Blippi for our party. So we're like, we found this like party company, and that's what they do. Like they get the princesses to come, they'll get whatever the characters, SpongeBob, they got the SpongeBob suit, like all that stuff. So I call him up and I go, "Do you guys do Blippi?" So the guy goes, "Hold on a second. Here's some rustling around and some talking in the background." He goes, "Yeah, no problem." I'm like, "Do you know who Blippi is?" And he's like,
"We'll figure it out by your party. Don't worry, pal."
He goes, "I don't, but my boss says we do." And I said, I'm not feeling confident in this. I go, can you please send me a picture of your blippy? He goes,
That's what she said.
guy sends me a dick pic. I'm like, all right, that's good enough.
That's his blippy, I guess.
So he goes, yeah, sure, absolutely. He goes, I would, he goes, I'm going to tell you this. I would book this now because we run out of people and we only have one blippy. So he's like, book it and we'll send you a picture. Idiot. Okay.
Rope you right in.
But
That's
I
a
booked it.
salesperson right there.
Hey, I haven't got a picture yet. When do you guys send a picture?
Do me a favor. Send me $4,000 and then I'll send you a picture.
So the guy goes like, oh yeah, listen, he goes, we're just waiting for the hat to come in. And I'm like, well, then you don't have a blippy. You're just.
What's so special about the hat?
He wears a certain like friggin' hat. I don't know.
It's like a baseball cap, or is it like a weird special cap?
It's like it's like one of those. I don't know how to describe it.
All right, so it's a special hat. So they're waiting for the hat, but they got the guy and they got the rest of the outfit.
Yeah, it's like a whole thing, See, but he goes, we're just waiting for the hat to come in, and I go, I thought you had the blip. I thought you had a blippy.
We're crafting a blippy as we speak, sir.
That was literally what happened. Here's blippy. That's blippy.
That's freaky.
So that's his hat. It's kind of like a weird looking hat.
Yeah,
see it?
It's like I got you.
And this is the guy. This is like the guy.
I see.
He's just a guy. Like if you look at his full outfit, like he's literally okay. Here he is wearing the blippy sneakers. See the blue and orange sneakers. But in the early blippy videos, he's literally just wearing white sneakers.
I got you.
And Frank, it was such an no way this was going to be a huge thing. Like you can tell he was just goofing around, and he would go to the park and be like, oh, I found an egg, let's open it up, and he'd open the egg up and it would be like some stupid thing. It'd be like, oh, and now it's a thing, it turns into this construction truck, and he would just play in the dirt with I'm telling you, millions of freaking views.
That's again, we're trying too hard.
Tell me about it. By the way, next show I got a hat and a shirt and suspenders for you to wear.
I got an egg somewhere around this house. I could crack an egg open.
Anyway, long story short about my kid's dumb party. This guy shows up who in no way looks like the real Blippi.
Oh, God. He's like 400 pounds.
Yeah, he just bought the hat off of Amazon like the day before, and he like shows up and he's like, hey guys. And I'm like,
God.
do you at least know the shtick and the, because it's important you hit these little details, his terminology and shit.
Right.
Area 17 million subscribers. He put out a video 4 days ago. It got 625,000 views already.
Good Lord.
I don't know how there's a way.
Still going.
Dude, it is. Well, now look, see, I don't know who these women are. I think he's bringing on more people.
To lighten the load a little bit.
To help out a little bit. Yes. Get out of
I can't do these full shows by How long are these videos?
They're not too
like,
long.
They're like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Sometimes they are. Like, here, let's go to popular.
He's got a couple that are hours long.
Bro, can you see this number? 902 million views.
That is almost three times America's population.
492 million views.
Good Lord, dude.
Because here's a little trick I want to let everybody in on. And by the way, if you're thinking about starting a business, start a business that is digitally aimed at children, because that's where the money is.
This is depressing.
I don't know. This seems weird with the Epstein documents banner on the screen. Let me remove that.
Yeah, maybe move that. Get that out of there.
I don't know if you know this about kids, Frank. You might not. They like to watch the same shit over and over and over again.
So half of these views are the same, not half, but
same person.
A ton of these views are the same person.
And it doesn't even matter. By the way, this ice cream truck video, I can recite this video for you.
That's sad.
It's got 249 million views. 245 million of those were my kids because they fucking love the ice cream video. Here's a Blippi takes a bus. You're not even learning shit. You're not even learning. Yeah. Here's one where he explains that garbage trucks come and pick up our garbage. And he sings a song about it.
God.
147 million views.
He's playing in a ball pit. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, yeah. These children's museums with all these were huge money makers for him because he would just go there and play around and 141 million views.
how'd this guy get allowed into these places?
And I don't know if you know this. So like for what we do, when you watch one of our YouTube videos and you see like an ad on our YouTube videos, there's a CPM number, like a cost per milli, it's called per thousand views. We make X amount of money. The amount of money that we pull in for a show of ours that covers controversial topics, not a lot, meaning that the amount of advertisers that want to advertise on shows that are controversial are very little. You'll see ads for like beard trimmers, like things that are not like,
Mhm.
but for kids programming on YouTube, they pay top dollar for that. I mean,
Wow.
top dollar. So not only does he have a lot of views, but he's getting paid more per thousand views. Like I would put his probably 5 or 6 times what we make per thousand is what he's making per thousand.
Does he do like? Does he have sponsors that he has to like say stuff about them on the air, or is it just like a pre-rolled thing before the
It's
video or something?
it was mostly pre-roll early on. I don't know if he has sponsors in his stuff now. I would
Be weird if he's
imagine.
like, "I'm gonna get ice cream," and remember, kids, Breyer's ice cream is the best one for you. It's like,
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't watched him in a while. I wouldn't be surprised if he is, but I wouldn't also be surprised if some of these museums were paying for him to come there and play at his place.
I could see that.
In the beginning, he was like desperate to go anywhere to get any sort of traction, but now, and forget it. And now he has dolls and he's got the shoe deal. He's in Target, like I said. It looks like there's a cartoon happening. And you know what else he did that was
Jeez.
smart? He pulled his stuff, like his stuff is still on YouTube, but he put his stuff on. So, like, there's like an Amazon channel for him. Like, if you go on Amazon, you can find the Blippy channel and it's just
Jeez.
his stuff run. It looks like another little YouTube, but the revenue that he gets from that is different than his revenue split with YouTube.
Wow.
Crazy,
Good
crazy.
Lord.
Also,
Blippy.
Blippy was on Epstein's island, so that's another thing that we have to look out
For
for.
real?
No, I'm just fucking.
Oh, see, now you're starting rumors. You can't believe anything.
Just make. I'm cloud chasing. I'm trying to get views here. This is all gonna be on TikTok.
So we can make up. We'll be Floopy. We'll do the Floopy show.
Yeah,
I'll wear my striped shirt. You wear I don't know, Islanders hat or something. What the hell you wear? And we'll just we'll throw things at each other through the whole. We'll make that a whole kids show,
yeah.
one kids episode. We'll see if we get millions of views.
Well, Blippy's been around for 6 years now, and Miss Rachel just came and decided I'm gonna do the same kind of shit and just do it in my little Miss Rachel shtick.
So now Miss Rachel's the big thing.
Miss Rachel is the big thing now. Yeah, I don't know Miss Rachel because my kids are out of Miss
Okay.
Rachel's age range, but what I know of Miss Rachel is through TikTok because all of Miss Rachel's moms are on TikTok and oh, Miss Rachel is live right now. Should we watch her?
Is that? Can we do that? I
Is
don't know
Miss,
if we can do that.
is Miss Rachel
Just
talking about
siphon off some of
Epstein's list?
siphon off some of her views.
Here,
Hey,
kids.
look, we got the Miss Rachel show on the Anthony on Air show.
We would get very much suspended. We almost got suspended because I showed a picture of something the other day and they thought we were live streaming. I had to fucking appeal it. It was a whole nightmare. So
What?
I will not show it. But yeah, I mean, if you here, I'll pop this up though. You can see Miss Rachel is pulling in the same kind of shit on her channel. She's got one from 9 days ago that already has 9 million views. And that one right
Good
there.
Lord. Yep.
Two-
61 million views from 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Man.
Is this not crazy? 242 million views from 11 months ago. I will give Miss Rachel this. At least she's teaching. Look, like learning to talk, like hear the colors.
Okay.
She's doing something.
She's doing like lesson plans almost.
Yeah.
The other guy is just like, I'm getting ice cream today. Watch me get ice cream.
Let's get ice cream.
What is that about? Oh, she has a bus one. Miss
Yeah,
Rachel, wheels on the bus though.
You gotta have a bus. That's a big thing.
You got to do wheels on the bus.
Yeah. But he fucked my kids up a little bit, Blippy, because my kid would go they'd go to the park and they'd be like, Dad, should we walk? Should we go around and look for eggs? I'm like, there's not fucking eggs at the park. That's not how it works.
Well, you taste you put these kids in front of fucking Blippy. He's not a professional, whatever the hell. You're gonna get eggs in your park.
Yeah, they had no idea. They thought you just go to the. They thought Blippy showed up at the park and just found eggs that they didn't get any of it.
Hey, I can't blame them. That's what
Yeah,
they're being shown.
yeah, yeah.
Eggs
Miss
at the
Rachel's
park.
huge.
Man.
Miss Rachel's is big time.
And it's just random too. Like these people, I'm sure there are a ton of other people doing the same shit that have like 100 views.
Yeah, probably maybe.
I'm sure there's someone out there doing. Let's learn to the alphabet, and they're doing a kids show, and they have like a theme song, and they brought all this production into it or whatever.
Yeah,
And they probably have a few hundred views, and I feel like it's so random.
I feel like I could spawn one of these just from what I know from Blippy and now Miss. Again, it's like bright outfit suspenders. There's something about suspenders that is just electrifying for a child.
It's that Robin Williams feel. You just get that. You just feel nice and it's a safe outfit, I guess.
It feels like suspender guy ain't gonna hurt me. He's wearing fucking suspenders.
Yeah, I could take out suspender guy if I need to.
So anyway, that's the Epstein thing.
Is it? I don't think. I guess so.
You love when I do that. You laugh every time I do that.
It's a great bit.
Cuddles would be great for that. I'm assuming Paul's talking about a kids sort of a thing, and maybe
I could see that.
Kids for the Italians in Brooklyn, yes. For the rest of the world, I'm not so sure. I'm not.
Today we're gonna make some coffee.
We're gonna count to friggin' 10. Okay.
Tree. Today brought to you by the number tree. She doesn't say tree. She says 3.
Now, kids, if I have 5 Schvoyadel and I take away 2, how many would be left?
None. I'm going to eat the rest too, all right? Get out of here. I don't know.
Does the Cookie Monsters case hold water?
It's called the alphabet, you dickhead. I think that'd be a great kids show. The Mona Lisa Vito kids show. I bet the Chinese food's terrible. I haven't seen that movie in so long. It's such a good movie.
Oh, it's a great movie. I'm teaching the kids time. My clock is ticking like this.
That's awesome.
Oh shit. All right. What else? Oh, okay. The environmental boy, this thing. Frank, they're going around, the EPA's in there, all these government officials, and they're like, it's fine, everybody, go back to living the way you're living.
I mean,
meanwhile, people are like, my eyes are burning. There's dead fish like everywhere. I don't understand what's happening here.
Yeah, that's not good. But at least people are reporting it. The news is out there, right? I mean, we're hearing more and more about it.
A little bit. I mean, I guess a little bit. I feel like most of the attention from this is coming from those alternate news sources, like people on TikTok and Twitter, like just continuing to put pictures out there. And, because this morning, like the mainstream media was kind of like, hey, everybody, they're all telling them, you can go back and it could be safe. Then they had Governor DeWine, and they're like, would you go bauld there? And he's like, I tell my family to go back there. And they're like, you would? He's like, yeah. They're like, but would you drink the water? And he's like, oh, no, I wouldn't drink the water. It's like, well,
then you're not. Yeah, when you say you go back there, you'd have to partake in everything that comes with being there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd walk through there with a hazmat suit, sure.
Yeah. And it's like, where's the fucking leader? Like, okay, you move back there, then go stay there for a couple of days with all the people in your state. And show them that it's safe. That motherfucker's off in some other, safe area. That's crazy.
Probably in Cancun somewhere with Ted Cruz.
Yeah. And listen, everybody wants to blame the Biden administration. I get it. He's the president. The buck stops with him. They seem to have a lot of issues with Buttigieg, and I'm not going to argue with that. But at the same time, this is a state issue, and the governor of the state is the leader slash president of the state, if you will. Like anything that's going to happen is going to start with him. You know?
Right. And a lot of it comes back to the regulations that were dropped. All the, you
Yeah.
know, the what is it called? Yeah, all the regulations that were dropped in the last administration.
Like
That's all
people
I'm
don't
saying.
get it. Like that's why a lot of the times, like the president of the United States will tell the governor, like declare a state of emergency. The governor has to start that. The president of the United States, no matter who they are, can't supersede the federal government doesn't supersede the state government. The states have rights. The states are the ones who have to start these things. It all starts with this DeWine, and I just don't know how. Like, I don't have a lot of faith in the fucking guy again.
I
And then
mean, what
again,
are they?
not to take Buttigieg off the hook here because he certainly is nowhere to be found. Like those motherfuckers should be standing next to the goddamn train.
Yeah,
You want to tell me it's safe? Good, stand there and tell me it's safe.
I agree.
And then they're telling
100%.
all these people to go back. You know, I saw a clip from Jon Stewart, and I thought it was a great analogy and a great job. I wish he'd get a TV show again because he's doing something
He was amazing.
on Apple from his basement. And I just keep every time I watch, I go, I would love to get him a real TV show on a network with a studio. But
Agreed.
anyway, he goes, you know, this reminds me of post 9/11. Go ahead, everybody. It's safe. We don't want the economy of downtown Manhattan crashing. Head on back there. And everybody did. And there was carcinogens and all sorts of shit still floating. The cars were still covered in dust from the collapse. And everybody went back. And then fast forward, look at all the issues all these people are having. You know, it
Yep.
sounds exactly like the same thing here. Like, go back, everybody. It's fine. And you don't really know.
Yeah, I mean, when I'd love to know, maybe they've covered it and I just didn't see it, but what the progress is in terms of the cleanup, like how, like if there's 100%, there's 100% of stuff on the ground, do they have 50% of it up? Are they, how close are they to cleaning it all up? Will it ever be completely cleaned up? I mean, a lot of it's got to be in the ground, in the rivers. I mean, what the hell, what are we looking at in terms of widespread, and how widespread is it? And what's the damage going to be like, and how many people are affected, and what are the towns? And I mean, I'm sure people are asking these questions, but I just, it'd be nice to get some accurate answers. Is all I'm saying.
So the EPA said that it screened 459 homes. I don't know East. By the way, it's not Palestine. It's like Palestine or something.
Hmm.
Whatever.
Okay,
Anyway, I don't know how many homes are in that area. I'm assuming it's a small area, but I'm assuming there's more than 459 homes. So they
maybe.
screened 459 homes and 21 drinking water wells. And they say that they are monitoring the air quality 24 hours a day.
Okay.
Norfolk Southern has brought in, they're the ones who are distributing water bottles around. But as I said, residents have been cited complaining of burning eyes, a burning smell continuing in the air, the smell of burning plastic, animals falling ill. So again, not even just the fish that are they're finding in the rivers and stuff, but they're saying animals falling ill, which I assume is
I would imagine it's the air and the drinking water.
yeah,
Maybe.
it could be
Yeah, I'm
dogs,
sorry.
cats, who knows, chipmunks, I don't know, God knows
Yeah.
what. And then you got this DeWine up there, and he goes, Norfolk Southern, that's the train. Norfolk Southern is responsible for this problem. We fully expect them to live up to what the CEO committed to me and that they will, pay for this. It's like, well, you're all talking about reactionary stuff after the fact. What are you doing right now
Yeah. I mean,
to help these
what's
people?
exactly what is happening? I mean, I'd love to know the like we expect this to be picked up by this day and everything will be cleaned and we're going through. I want to know the process, what we're doing to clean up the ground and the water, and what's the advice for people living in the area, because obviously these people are their eyes are burning and all this stuff is happening. Whatever they're if they're being told anything, I don't know if they're being told the right thing. I mean, they're obviously getting effects from this.
Well, here was the other crazy part because did we talk about this in the last episode? Forgive
What?
me if we did. You might have even said it because it was the percentage of the amount of cars that were carrying toxic materials was under like 25 or something. They didn't have to disclose what was on the train.
Really?
Yeah. So like if there's like 80 cars and only 25 of them have toxic materials, they don't have to like be like this is what's on here.
That seems like a
That's
dumb rule.
fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That seems crazy.
Even after it spills.
Yeah.
So it's 25 cars spill, and they don't have to tell you what spilled out of it.
Well, I mean, I think they would ask the question then, but I don't think they have to publicly disclose what it is, which seems again crazy to me.
Yeah.
Um, Governor DeWine added this morning the Ohio EPA said there was no detection of contaminants in East Palestine's municipal water system and that it was safe to drink. Like, you don't have to. That seems you like a. It seems like, would you fucking drink any of this water if you were there?
No.
Neither would I.
No. I mean,
And I'd call my employer or my friends or family, and I'd be like, I'll check back in with you guys in a month. I'll be somewhere the fuck else.
Yeah.
For now.
I mean, what are we doing here? Obviously there's something wrong. Nobody, and this is just what is it? When did this thing crash again?
February 3rd, and then they did the burn a week later.
All right, so a couple of weeks ago it crashed, and obviously it only took like 2 weeks for people to start feeling these effects now. The eyes are itching, whatever's going on. I would do the old. There was I think it was what's the place that they can't drink the water?
Flint, Michigan.
Flint, Michigan. They get a glass of that water and go give it to the leaders and say, "Here,
yeah,
have a drink.
Drink it.
You swallow this whole thing, and I'll believe you."
Yeah, it's crazy the lack of leadership we have these days. It really, really is. And the amount of people that want to throw blame around. Again, there's plenty of blame to throw around. There really is.
Yeah, sometimes there's more than one person to blame.
There's a lot of people to blame for this one, and a lot of misdirection going on. But
right.
Well, I hope those people are okay. I don't know if you know this, but the AOA podcast donated an entire Poland Spring bottle of water to the people of East Palestine, Ohio.
That's nice.
Yeah,
it's pretty generous.
I thought it was the best we could do at the time, and I'm really proud of what we've done. So,
hey, I don't drink water, so hopefully that's good for them.
Frank wanted to send an Arizona iced tea. He's like, no, let's just get water over there first.
Some Snapple, something.
Here's what's weird. We send over one huge bottle, like the big bottle you get like at the gas stations that are all the way down to the bottom.
Oh, that's good.
One of those. We sent one over. We've actually done more than Governor DeWine has done so far for this incident.
Did we send it to anybody in particular, or we just sent it to like the broad general area?
I wrote Ohio chemical ground zero disaster, and I stuck it in the mailbox. It should be fine.
It'll get there.
Yeah. Like I said, we've done more than Governor DeWine, who, by the way, was on Epstein's island. He's on the flight logs.
You're an ass. That's a rumor. He just made up. Anthony just made that up. We're not spreading rumors here.
It was funny. Everybody was going. This also kind of blew up on Twitter and TikTok. Everybody was going, you know why we're getting all these aliens? Because they want to distract us from the Ohio chemical disaster. And then all of a sudden I started seeing people go, you know why this Ohio chemical disaster is going out there? It's because they're trying to distract us from the Epstein document release. And I'm like, what's happening here?
So more than one thing can't happen at the same time.
Yeah, like what's the big fucking
Yeah, we can't pay attention to more than one thing at a time.
Yeah, it seems crazy to me.
Yeah.
What up, J Sabs? I saw you pop in, but then you turned your camera off, so I assumed you were.
No, I'm doing stuff.
Okay.
I'm doing stuff, so you know.
For your other podcast?
You were
there you are.
There we go.
Hi, yeah, for my other podcast, right?
Right.
I
wish. What?
Yeah. J Sabs, are you going to help Ohio out in any way, shape, or form? You are our fundraiser. You're the gal who puts it all together.
Darn, I can't think of a clever joke right now for that.
Yeah. Insert joke here.
Yeah, insert.
She said.
I
let's
mean,
bring up Chris Cuomo. There's plenty to joke around about there.
oh,
All right,
God.
what would this guy do now?
Fucking Chris Cuomo goes on Anthony Scaramucci's show.
Mhm.
Okay.
Does he have
You
a
like
show?
that name?
What?
You like that name, don't you? You
Scaramucci?
you wanted to say that. I saw it in your face.
Scaramouche.
He could
Mhm.
do the Fandango.
Thank you.
Wow.
Anyway, he goes on there and he's talking about like what happened to him and how he got fired and everything. And he says literally, and I quote here, I was going to kill everybody, even myself.
Uh,
He admitted that he was straight up shit canned by CNN and said, I was going to kill everybody, even myself. He went on to say that Italians are passionate people, but
We
that
are.
after a while he had to come to accept what happened to him. This guy's a fucking crazy person.
I mean, I hope he's using hyperbole. I'm sure he was exaggerating. I hope. I'm playing devil's advocate here.
It's hyperbole, but you know when somebody uses hyperbole and you're like, there's a lot of truth behind that hyperbole.
That's true.
It's a truth hyperbole, to be honest
Truth
with
hyperbole. Yeah, those are weird.
you. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've been fired from places. I never thought I'm gonna go back there and kill everybody. I just thought, thank God I don't have to see those fucking people ever again.
Oh yeah, it's a huge relief. Just you walk out and then you go, oh, I don't have to go back in there ever again. That is great.
That
Fuck that
honestly
place.
is the best feeling in the world.
Yeah, for a second you're like, oh shit,
right.
and then you go, wait
Exactly.
a second, this
Exactly.
is great. All right,
Oh,
so yeah, so he's a
God.
nut.
You're like, I'm finally gonna have a good Wednesday. This is gonna be fan fucking tastic.
I'm trying
they
to think
should-
if I ever said that. Not no. I think maybe I've said that about the people I still worked with, not left just yet. If that makes sense.
Nope.
What?
Sorry, I'm looking at my nails.
I like meaning that you're gonna kill the people that you work with.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
oh, hope she gets hit by a bus. Not like, fuck you all, I'm going home. I hope
It's
you get
very-
hit by a bus.
It's very few and far between that you can find a workplace that you genuinely enjoy. Like I could tell you honestly, I have had two in my lifetime. One of them's happening now. And the other one was the first job out of college. I worked for two guys that were really, really nice. Bought me lunch every day. Didn't take much. Lunch every day, but it was nice. That was it. Most of my other working experiences, believe me when I tell you, and yes, I'm referring to the radio days, completely fucking miserable.
Well, it's just like, okay, you know how they say nowadays it's very hard to get like a good worker?
Right.
It is. It is hard because I'd say most of the people that you encounter don't want to do their job or hate it, or they just do the bare minimum. But I do say this. If you want a good worker, you have to have a good workplace, meaning I think it's very simple. The concept is very simple. You want people to come to work and you want them to do a good job and you also want them to have a good time. You do, because guess what? That's what they want to do too. They don't want to come to work and they don't want to be miserable. So there's a lot of like little things and little perks you can do to make your employees want to come to work and enjoy coming to work. But so many people fuck it up. It's amazing, like just like little tweaks in there. But I don't know.
So why you get all these when people come in and they do like the they talk to the employees and they do like this is how you could be a more efficient worker and do all these tricks. They never talk to the owners and say this is how you can improve the lives of the workers.
Well, that's actually not true. Well, it depends. It depends on who you hire to do that, because my last job, we had an outside HR company. As you know, there was no HR person there. There couldn't be. I worked there. And they mentioned to my boss certain things that he could do to make people like to come to work. And he just didn't listen.
Oh, good.
and to deal with him too. He honestly, they were originally hired so the two people underneath him, not in bed, just like underneath him, like the two managers could deal with him because they did not know how to deal with him.
Man.
I know, and it's crazy. Like they would have, and this is going to sound sick. They would have therapy sessions with these people on how
That's
to
at least
deal with
trying.
him
At least that's
weekly.
trying something.
Yeah, but
it's putting in some kind of effort.
Lost cause because number one, nobody trusted this company at all. They were like, we're not saying, because they would tell me, we're not saying anything about the owner because it's going to get back to him.
Right.
And two, he just didn't listen to them, so it didn't work. You really do. You have to make it an enjoyable workplace, and it's very easy to do, but people just don't want to do it. They don't, unless you work with me. Then it's always enjoyable.
Until HR pokes their head in.
Right. I will say this. I'm not kidding you. I won't say anything good about myself, really. I am one of the best people to work with. I am one of the most... I am.
I mean, just hanging out with you, you probably, at the very least, you get a free salad.
That was my school days, not...
Oh, all right.
I am.
Frank and I have very different opinions on this, but go ahead. I'd love to hear yours.
I mean...
Well, make it an enjoyable workplace.
I mean, you're always on time.
No, I tell you,
before your time is up.
I would love to work. Janine and I actually did a commercial shoot. We didn't really talk about this. I don't think we did. We did a commercial shoot once, and it was a blast.
It was fun.
I had a good time. She was fun to work with. She made it a fun, happy.
Thank
atmosphere.
you. See, I feel that you have to, yes, get your job done, but have fun.
So how come we haven't seen any of that stuff here?
Oh, I make it fun, Frank.
No. I'm talking about like you guys worked together. It was a great experience. Blah blah blah. Like what happened? What was the experience?
Oh, Frank, I'm just fun to work with. I can't explain it.
We shot a commercial, and Janine was like the spokesperson, if you will. And we can't talk. I mean, we can't. We'll talk about it one day, I'm sure, but we can't really.
Did the commercial ever air?
Yeah.
It did. All right. So why can't you talk about it?
I don't know. I don't know. It was just like a thing.
All right.
We signed something. I had to make everybody who worked on the commercial with us sign something too. Like, sorry about the sexual harassment. Apologize for the sexual in nature jokes. Yeah. You're
famous for those.
Yeah. A nipple popped out at one point. Not Janine's, mine. She pulled my shirt up like this in front of the whole crew. It was pretty embarrassing.
And then I went like this.
Nice. The old transistor.
A lot of apologies. But anyway, we've sold a couple products, I guess. I don't know.
That's good. All right, what's next? Chris Cuomo. All right.
That was it. We did Chris Cuomo. He's fucking batshit crazy. Oh, and then he goes like this. He admits, because he's got a show on, I don't even know what the hell it's called. News Nation, which is like the new, I think it's the new, okay. So you got, let's put Fox here, CNN here, then you have Newsmax here, then you have MSNBC here, then you have OAN here, and you have News Nation here. I think that's the scale.
Really? Is News Nation all the way left?
Yeah. Nobody's watching it, and they don't give a shit. So anyway, but he admits on the Scaramucci show that nobody's watching his new show. He fucking said it.
Hey, he's honest about that, at least.
I could not believe my ears when I heard the clip. He said it's kind of embarrassing going from CNN to a channel that people just don't watch.
Oh, God. That's not good.
Yeah.
You don't say that about the channel you're working for.
Yeah, which you know what the thing is about this, and I'm sorry, but it's not the channel, it's you. They brought you in to bring the channel up, and you haven't done it. It ain't the channel's fault. It is your fault.
I mean, what's he
Sorry.
supposed to? Yeah, what's he supposed to do?
I don't know, but do something fucking interesting. Here's the problem. Maybe he's doing what he used to do on CNN on this new channel, and nobody gave a shit because everybody was just tuned into CNN because it was CNN. They weren't
Right.
really coming for you. They were coming because you were on CNN. Now you go over there with your little CNN shtick and it's not working. Well, guess what? Do something different.
Time to update your stick.
Yeah. Update your shtick. Anyway, he's a fucking. I can't stand him. And blaming things on being Italian and everything. He's fucking Fredo. And I wish he would just go away already. That's the God's. I'm Italian. We're passionate people. Yeah, but we don't threaten to kill people. Not all of us.
No.
My brother has done that before.
Well, that's because somebody got in his way of betting on 22 at the roulette table. That's understandable. You could lose your shit over that.
He's not even Italian.
Yeah.
Yes, he is.
He's half Italian.
Well, I think we're more Italian than anything else. So even though he doesn't look it, neither do I.
That feels like a lie, right?
That's true.
Yeah. No, I know you're saying it's true, but it still feels like a lie, doesn't it, Frank?
My mother's full Italian.
Oh.
My mother.
Gabagool.
How'd she go for your father with that accent from God knows where? I still don't understand it.
I don't even know.
Yeah.
What's after Chris Cuomo?
We lost the great Raquel Welch.
R.I.P. Legend.
Absolute legend
Them
of the game.
titties are a legend.
True.
Yeah, you forget how hot some of these ladies were back in the day because you kind of see them now. She was pretty hot.
You forgot.
I didn't forget. I whacked off to her last week.
Honestly.
I still don't think she's as hot as Gina Lollobrigida, and I still don't think she's as hot as what's her name?
We don't know who that is.
You're terrible. Well, what's the one that was in Grumpy Old Men?
I don't know.
Oh,
but
and Margaret.
Margaret. But no, Raquel Welch back in the
still
day.
Alive?
What?
She's still alive, and Margaret.
And Margaret's still with us, I think.
I don't know.
And Margaret, Epstein Island. Just saying.
No, stop it.
Okay.
Maybe.
You gotta stop with that. People are gonna take you seriously.
Mork and Mindy.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, I mean, everybody. We just want to talk about Seinfeld. I mean, one of the greatest bit characters on Seinfeld ever.
I don't remember her on Seinfeld at all.
What?
She doesn't swing her arms.
She walks and doesn't swing her arms.
She dances,
okay.
tap dances.
Now that you said that, I get it.
Which was so brilliant because I actually recently came across somebody who does that, and it is so uncomfortable to look at.
It's a weird thing to see.
It is quite bizarre.
Yeah.
Quite
like she's carrying invisible luggage.
Now, I swear to God, when you said, Frank texted us, said Raquel Welch died. I don't know why. Who's the gymnast that was famous? That was on the Wheaties box, the Wheaties boxes and everything.
The short girl?
Yes.
With the short hair?
With the short hair. She was in Scrooged.
Oh, yeah. What the heck is her name?
What was her name?
She's not Kornikova.
No.
She's something, though.
I don't know why, but I thought it was her.
I got to look her up now.
What?
I go, oh, the gymnast died? And then I'm like, oh, wait, Raquel Welch, you idiot.
What the heck is her name?
What's her name? The friggin' Mary Lou Retton. Thank you.
Ah, Mary Lou Retton. Very good.
Wow.
RNC in the chat. How do you confuse Raquel Welch with Mary Lou Retton? I have no idea.
Apparently you do.
But in my head, they were the same person for a little while.
No good. No. Fantastic Voyage, I think, was her that big movie. The one where she's on the poster in Shawshank Redemption.
Mm.
Who was that?
Raquel Welch.
Raquel Welch.
No clue.
Remember the poster he dug the hole through in Shawshank?
Right.
So that was the Raquel Welch poster.
That's right. Yeah, she did a
Fantastic
ton of shit.
Voyage.
And she worked. I mean, it was a lot more TV stuff in the later days, but she did a lot.
Yeah, no, she was. She never stopped.
Her last
82.
her last credits were 2017, so 5 years ago.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
77. Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty good considering her first credit was 1964. Yeah,
Damn.
that's something.
good
We
for
weren't
her.
even. We weren't even a thought.
Right.
Tons of stuff
R.I.P.
though. McHale's Navy, Bewitched, like you said, Fantastic Voyage. Um,
A lot of modeling and stuff that she did. She's everywhere.
yeah, sad to see her go.
Yep.
She will no longer move her hands where she's going.
Would she
That's
die
right.
from?
She had an illness. It didn't say in any of the reports. It just said, well, the ones I saw, a short illness. Like she didn't have it very long, and she was 82. I guess it's just, I don't know what it was though. I don't know if they said.
Mm.
Epsteinitis is what she died from, just to clarify.
Stop it.
Oh.
Jerk.
Did Anne Margaret date Elvis? I think so.
I'm gonna give you a very strong maybe on that.
Yeah,
I'm no help.
I'm pretty sure she did, and she was in or around Priscilla's time.
Hey, Priscilla's still going.
I forget what the timeline was. She was either like right before Priscilla or right after Priscilla. But yes, Anne Margaret and Priscilla were a thing for sure.
And Margaret and Priscilla.
And that would have been sorry. That was my fantasies kind of coming out.
All right, a little Freudian slip.
Katie Nolan is out at Apple TV. Katie Nolan is a sports broadcaster. If you don't know who she is, that's
Nope.
why she's fired.
Well,
Ah.
there you go.
And she's out at Apple TV. She's on MSG. She's on a lot of local New York sports stuff. She's had a ton of TV shows. Apple's doing the MLB broadcast now. They're going to do a bunch of games this upcoming season, and they're revamping their broadcast booth. So they've gotten rid of her. But it kind of made me think, like, this girl, like, all I know Katie Nolan for now is whatever gig she just got fired from. Like, all she does is get gigs and lose them shortly thereafter.
What is that about?
I don't know, but it made me think of you, Frank, because you always talk about this. This is the thing that pisses Frank off a lot, because this happens in radio
wait to
all
hear
the
this.
time. No, but it's the truth. You say this all the time. It happens in radio. Somebody gets a job in radio, then they get fired, and then they immediately get hired somewhere else because they just got fired from the previous place. And it's kind of like, well, if you were really good, wouldn't a radio station want to hold on to you? Yet those radio people tend to hire more of those people that have been fired from 19 places rather
Well-
than go with somebody good from the inside or from somewhere else.
Yeah, well, it's one of those radio. It's especially if you concentrate it to like a small area. Radio's a small industry because there's not a lot of people in each station, and there aren't a lot of stations. So you're dealing with a couple of hundred people within a small area. So when someone leaves one place, they immediately go to the next place, and they're all in the same. It's like a revolving door for all these little places, and eventually you end up working at the same place twice for the most part. So
Okay.
it's a weird little community. But congrats, Bird. Got a new job. Can quit her night job. Very good.
Oh, sweet.
Way to go. Good
I like
news.
any situation where you can devote more time to the podcast.
Exactly.
That's a good situation.
Woo!
Beautiful. Starts tomorrow. Good. Way to go.
Ow!
Good luck. Very nice.
Ow!
If you need any HR tips, Bird, J-Sab said she will make herself available.
I can definitely help you out.
Yeah.
And she could also tell your boss how to make the place better to work at.
Mm-hmm.
This is true. I did help him with certain things. In fact, I organized all of my company's outings and special events. Thank you.
There you go.
Nice. Those are fun. I like working at it. We should do outings. This company,
Right.
the AOA company,
Right.
should have more outings.
Yeah, we had one
More-
PDQ.
Yeah. And you weren't even there.
I wasn't even there. Right.
And we should do like more team building events. We should get the sales team in on it, and the interns and whoever else, all all the people that work for the show.
A homeless guy tied up
Yeah.
in
In
my
other words,
basement.
our wives and husband.
Right.
We are severely lacking.
Right.
All right, can I just go? Because I'm sorry, but can we just talk about this?
No, you
She.
don't know what it is.
This is Katie Nolan. I'm a little obsessed with this, but you guys got to bear with me at this.
Sorry, who?
She was okay. She started a blog called Bitches Can't Hang in 2011. This Katie Nolan.
Ooh.
She became part of the Fox Sports Yard Barker network.
I've heard of that.
Okay. Then she joined Fox Sports 1 as a digital correspondent for Crowd Goes Wild,
Okay.
which was if you remember that show, it was hosted by Regis Philbin after he left the Regis and Kathy Lee or whatever the
while
other
ago.
one was.
Rest in peace, Regis.
Yeah.
Yep.
She hosted a show called No Filter with Katie Nolan. Then she appeared as a panelist on the nightly show with Larry Wilmore, which was on Comedy Central. That was like Larry Wilmore followed who's the guy we were just talking about on Comedy Central that did the
Jon
Daily
Stewart.
Show? Jon Stewart. Followed Jon Stewart for a while. Then she did a show called Garbage Time with Katie Nolan.
She hosted a lot of shows.
Yeah. Then she began hosting NFL films. Then she went to ESPN and she was a panelist on Highly Questionable. She was on the Dan Liebetard show. Then she started doing podcasts on ESPN, got fired from that. She's been a frequent contributor to Comedy Central's Drunk History.
Wow.
And then she did Always Late on ESPN, which got canceled in 2020, and she announced her departure from ESPN altogether in 2021. Like, all this girl does is fail on shows.
Does she want to do this show for like a month?
Yeah, I would love to just talk to her and be like, I get it. A pretty girl who does sports. I understand the appeal to that, but it never sticks.
I don't know why though. Why not?
And then it's like Apple TV's got baseball. Who should we get to go on it? I know Katie Nolan. She lasted one season and now she's gone. I don't understand why people keep going back to the old Katie Nolan well.
I don't know.
Doesn't make any
I
sense.
do not know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never heard of Katie Nolan until you just brought her up. So.
Okay.
Me either. Never.
I'll tell you what I'd love to do is get Katie Nolan on that Chris Cuomo show and see what happens. Maybe she'll
That'd
kill
be
that
something.
for finally. Yeah. Chris Stapleton. They asked Chris Stapleton what he thought about the Eagles coach crying during his performance. Yeah, of the national anthem, and he's like, "I can't watch that shit." So he said, "I can't watch it," and then he kind of rebounded with like, "I don't like to watch my own performances," but they asked him about the crying specifically.
Oh, okay.
So he's like,
What
"I
would he
can't
say?
watch." Yeah, he's like, "I can't watch my performances." I still can't believe that son of a bitch. I believe that's where the Eagles lost the game.
Probably.
Was in the fact that they had a huge wuss for a
Sack of
coach.
tears running the team.
Yeah, exactly. You didn't see Andy Reid crying on the other side. All you saw was barbecue sauce dripping from his lips. That guy knows how to fucking coach.
Yeah, that's what you want to see in your coach.
Exactly. So that's a continual embarrassment for whatever the hell the head coach of the Eagles name is. But I felt bad though, because he kind of he's like, listen, it was emotional. It was my first Super Bowl. I got there. All these dreams come true. Yeah, but you force those feelings down, my man.
Suck them up.
Yeah. Like don't let that
cry
shit
when you
out.
win. After you win, you cry. Or after you lose.
Exactly. Because now all that will ever be around for the rest of your life on the internet will be you fucking a gif of you crying at the beginning of the game.
You think he's gonna become a meme if he hasn't already?
Oh, he's already. He was a meme before they kicked the football off.
Oh, really?
Okay? That shit was already flying around the internet. Him crying. Yeah,
Oh,
100%. 100%.
Guy's
Speaking of the
emotional,
Super Bowl, you can't be emotional in football. I know we're accepting and
There's
everybody
no
loves
crying in
everybody.
football.
There's no crying in football. Thank you. Tamp
You're
that
allowed
shit
to cry.
down.
Here you go. I'm gonna make you feel like a jerk. Rhoda, I tear up because I lost friends in the military. You see? So you're allowed to cry. Maybe that's why he was crying. Did they ask him why he was crying? He said because it's his dream come true.
They asked him. He said, because my father and we always dreamed about this moment, and here it finally came to fruition. All right, pussy. Like, swallow it down. You know what I mean? Okay, crying because you lost friends in the military. That makes sense to me. That is a real legitimate reason to get emotional during the anthem. Not because you had some dreams.
I can't imagine if we were, when we were playing hockey, we made it to the championship game where we looked over and we saw our coach crying. And you're like, this guy leading us into the championship here? What's going on?
We'd all be like, we just bought into his fired up speech in the locker room. This is all a fraud.
Look at Paul's answer.
Right. Episode 3, not episode. Which one did you say was said, Anthony?
He watched it in the locker room.
Did you see that last episode when I said episode 5 was more sad than episode 3?
No, we're up to episode 5. We just watched 4 last night.
Okay, then
Okay,
I won't
watch
ruin it
5.
for you. Can't weigh in yet, but I would love to get
Both
your
very
opinion.
sad. Both.
I
very
hate
sad.
that I even brought this up ahead. I would love for you to just go in cold, because now you're gonna I've tainted the sample.
That's
no,
true.
I don't think so because
I said it was the third one was sad, and you still cried for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So
doesn't
that
matter.
tainted
I wasn't like Frank's such a pussy.
No, but I'm saying 5 is more emotional,
So
and
you think
100%, 100%. I thought it was even more emotional.
guess we'll see.
Yeah, let me know when you're gonna watch it, because I want to know right away what you think.
Oh, well,
Doesn't look like she's watching it tonight.
No, that doesn't sound like it. During the Super Bowl, we saw a promo for the new Sphere in Las Vegas. This is a new state-of-the-art arena that the MSG company is building
Wow.
in Las Vegas, and it is a giant circle. You want to take a stab at what the cost of this thing is right now at this point, with all the construction things that have gone on in the last 2 or 3 years since they've been building it?
State of the art. I'm assuming there's some kind of
gajillions.
hologram technology they're throwing in there, probably.
Yep.
All that shit.
Yep.
I would say 100 mil.
$2.2 billion. Yep.
Who
It
has
is
so
the-
much money?
It's the most sophisticated thing I've ever heard of. Okay, so you sit in there, and it is just a sphere, and the screen goes entirely around you.
How many people are sitting in there?
17,500 people.
So
So
it's like a
essentially-
dome?
The same
Like a big-
crowd that you would get for like a game at Madison Square Garden. Those are roughly the same numbers.
Okay, so I'm picturing like you picture Madison Square Garden, take the roof off of it and make it a huge, like a dome. Is that kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. And it's a big fat circle.
That's what she
That
said.
circle.
Yeah, I'll see if I can get a picture of it for you.
Wait, one thing that TD Freelancer said. After watching this show, you should watch the full video game. The storylines are a bit different, though cool as well. The roommate played this game.
Okay, don't say anything to me, please. I can't have spoilers.
Oh,
No, there's no
'cause it's gonna give away
spoilers.
stuff.
No, I was just gonna say he's watched it, so he says he knows what's gonna happen if they stick to
Yeah,
it.
that's not good. If they stick to the game, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they tend not to.
Right.
And plus, if the game could end in like after the first season, then they could continue. Okay, there it is. Doesn't look like it would fit.
That's pretty cool.
17,000. It looks like the sphere from Epcot Center.
Right.
That's what I
Right.
was picturing.
Yeah, I mean, essentially. Let's see if we got some more pictures of it. The inside is super interesting, what they're doing. But you can see, like, the outside is going to have a screen on it, too, and that's going to change.
Oh, that's
Right.
cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous what they're talking about this thing doing. Oh, sorry, I realize you guys can't see what I'm seeing. Sorry. Hold on, let me fix that.
All we see is the homepage there.
Thanks, Aunt.
Sorry. Here's their Instagram. You could see, like, you see this little thing here. See? Like the
That's all
outside.
the outside. Oh,
Yeah, the
that's cool.
outside. Right. That's the outside. Could you imagine the fucking inside, what that's going to be like? And I mean, look at this.
I'm trying to.
164,000 speakers.
Damn.
I think they could have gotten away with 163,000. That
See,
might be me.
This is
That's
why
my
you-
husband's wet dream.
This is why you can't. This is why you can't think big, Frank. That's your problem right there.
That's true, I guess.
They're calling it 4D experiences, infrared sound, haptic seats. So the whole thing is like the sound comes from underneath you,
Ooh.
so it's like this crazy like 360 experience and everything. And
Trying to visualize the inside because would you say 17,000 people
yeah, so picture it, it's like it's not like the garden where you're just all sitting in a circle. Like the seats are going up like a theater.
on like one half of it? And you
That's
can see
what
the
that's
whole.
from the early renderings for what I remember. That's what it was. And so like the whole thing is like in front of you. So even though there's going to be stuff behind you, it's going to be a lot of crowd, but it'll be above you and all around you. It's this crazy
So
fucking
like an
thing.
IMAX movie theater where everybody's facing the same way, just surrounded by this circle thing.
But even bigger, like bigger than
Right.
any IMAX theater you've ever been in.
Cool. Let's go, baby. Is it up and running or no?
So they say it's going to open in September. Two of the executives who are running it have already left. The lovely James Dolan has stepped in to take over the project because that's MSG's his company. So people
GD.
are a little concerned they're not going to make it by September's opening date. But
He's
they
got to get
announced,
that facial recognition stuff in there.
yeah, I know, right? They announced that U2 will be the ones who open the venue. You want to take a guess at how much they're paying U2 to open
Oh
this
God.
place?
Oh, I'll stick with my earlier guess. 100 mil.
$2.2 billion.
Damn.
Get the fuck out
No,
of here.
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
U2 is on Epstein's Island, though.
No, stop it.
Point
I
is,
knew you were gonna say that. Ooh.
Yep.
What?
$10 million is what they're giving to U2
Damn.
to
That
open up
seems like enough.
this venue. And it's only like a handful of shows. I don't even know. I think they said 12 shows. So it's roughly
Damn.
almost $1 million a show.
Damn.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
That is
I mean,
crazy.
think about 17. You have to make up $1 million in 17,500 tickets
How? Each night, though.
each night. But they're making $10 million for the 12 shows.
Let's do a little math here. We got 1 million divided by 17,000.
17,500.
It's only $58 a ticket. Is that right?
That doesn't seem right.
1 million divided by 7. What was it? 1750?
Yeah.
17,500?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's $57 and change.
Oh, it's not that bad then.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is fine.
That's pretty good. So what are we talking about?
And it just seems fucking crazy to cut these people a check for $10 million for fucking 12 days of work.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they're not getting 100% of the ticket price. They have to also pay the people that work there and whatever the hell.
That is true. Yeah, that is true.
And I'm sure the snacks and drinks are going to be like $20 a soda.
Yeah.
Damn.
Well, you know what they're saying, that they were supposed to put a corporate sponsor on this thing. This is the rumor going around. They're supposed to get a corporate sponsor for the Sphere, and they can't sell it, and they need that to offset the price of the ticket. Because that's the other thing too.
They can't sell that.
You don't want to just break even. You want to make a profit off of these shows. You know what I'm saying? So they've got to. When you think about, okay, it's $57 a ticket, but it's really probably $150 a ticket at minimum because you got to put the damn lights on. You have to pay the employees of the place.
I'm talking 50, whatever I said before, is just to pay the band.
Just to pay the band.
The rest, you have to make up a lot more than that.
A lot more than that. Yeah.
To pay the people that work there, the people that run the whole thing, the owners, whoever's making profit. Yeah, it's going to be like $200, $300, $400. Plus, I'm sure tickets are going to go for in the thousands for like to get up close or whatever.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, absolutely, without a doubt. Here's a couple interesting things. I mean, this is something that they're kind of falling short on. They thought they would be doing between 400 and 500 movie screenings a year, and they're going to fall well short of those early estimates. They're going to show a lot less movies. Wow. But what's it? I don't know. They didn't really say.
Okay.
Probably because they don't have a corporate sponsor to go in there and fill the void.
I see.
Because they were estimating 400 to 500 film screenings, attracting 3 to 4 million customers, with seats priced only around $50. By comparison, the Sphere expects to only host between 40 and 80 live concerts, said a source who who saw a presentation from the MSG company. So far fewer shows than they expected. But here's what's interesting: as far as the movies go, obviously they could put any movie on there, but they reached out to Darren Aronofsky, who's a very critically acclaimed filmmaker. Requiem for a Dream, Black Swan was Aronofsky. He's the one who was behind The Whale and bringing us back the lovely Brendan Fraser. They reached out to him to make a film specifically for this type of a venue, and he's got to shoot that in 16K with these new like high resolution 16K cameras.
That's a lot of K.
That's a lot of K, my friend.
I don't
But
know
when
if
you
I can
want
handle that much K.
when you want to see, I'm like J Sab's roommate. I have an erection right now talking about this. Like this couldn't be a bigger fucking thrill for
What
me.
is a K?
It means 1,000
Of?
Ooh.
Is that pixels?
P's.
P's?
Yeah, we had 1080p. That was 1K. You keep doubling it up every time you get a K.
Write it off what?
I don't know, but they're the ones
writing
with
it
P's. 32-year-old in the news today, never been kissed. I found this to be quite interesting of a story.
Well, then
now-
they've never been either, right?
Unless, you go to unless this guy goes to a worker of the night.
It is
Sometimes
a
they don't
lady. How about that?
Ah, lady. Okay.
Mhm.
Never been kissed. Well, I guess I have a feeling after this story comes out, there's going to be people like, I want to kiss you. I want to kiss you.
Well,
Is it by choice or is it, do we know what the story is?
yes. So, spoiler alert: she has been kissed,
Oh, there you go.
and now, but she's telling the story. 32 years old. Her name is Alora. She's from Rochester, New York. And I found it to be interesting because here's the thing. Remember we talked about guys and consent and all that kind of stuff, and the perception of the world that is put on like young men and women and kids and all that kind of stuff. She says that she presumed that women were meant to be pursued and that there would be some sort of meet cute that would happen, sort of this like princess fantasy scenario where her like Prince Charming would come and there would be this magical thing. And then when that didn't happen, she kind of assumed that something was wrong with her. And then after a while, when that never happened, she said she lost trust in love and, she started falling behind. Dating expectations and society weren't matching what she was kind of taught. So she kind of focused her energy into her career and traveling around. And then the next thing you know, it was like 15 years went by and I never kissed anybody.
Well, we have to see what she looks like. I mean, that's obviously question number one.
I wonder how a story like this comes up. You think she just one day she goes up, you know what, I'm 32 and I know I'm going to call the newspaper and tell them all about it.
Yeah.
It's like, how does that even, it has to be she's talking about it to someone overhears it and says, oh, I like to, hey there, Missy, I'd like to write a story about that. It's like, how does that even come up?
Hey there, Dame, you've got a nice little story there. I think this comes up, honestly, most of the time. She's friends of a friend who works in the media.
Yeah, that could be.
And they go, you got to hear about this fucking girl. She's, I swear to God, she's, 32, never kissed a guy.
So then she never had sex, definitely.
No, of course not.
Well, again.
Well,
she was on Epstein's Island, though, coincidentally.
Stop it. You stop it.
Yeah. And then, then when she like tried to start like dating and she would like tell people, like, a lot of people were kind of like if you're on a date with somebody at 32 and you're like, oh, by the way, I've never kissed anybody, what would you think? I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Check.
Yeah.
Like, you went out with Newman?
Yeah.
What? Newman?
Yeah.
Stop seeing her. Yeah, I don't know. I would be like, oh, I'd be like, that's surprising.
Right.
There's got to be maybe a story behind that. And if it's that story, it's all right. I mean, you focused on your career. You weren't into dating, and then when 32 is, you know, then you hear stuff like 40-year-old version.
Yeah.
32 is not terrible, I guess.
Oh, Frank, it is.
It is. It's not. If you're okay with it. I mean, if is she like, no, I need to, or is she like, I'm okay with it?
It
Well, then
ain't good.
she kept trying, but that's the thing though. Like your expectations get all kind of out of whack. Like you don't really know what you're even looking for if you've been giving this idea of like Prince Charming is going to come down from the heavens and birds are going to fly and chirp around you as he gives you a
Right.
kiss.
Well, that seems, a
Then when
little.
you have like a halfway decent person take you out for a nice meal, treat you nice, and like go to give you a kiss goodnight, and you're like, no, this isn't it. You're fucked up.
Yeah, but wait. I mean, if you're thinking that is what's going to happen, I mean, that's where do you?
She was. That was her
I know
thing.
it just seems like a little far fetched,
So yeah, that's what bad parenting, my friend. Somebody stuck her in
guess.
front of whenever Miss Rachel was around 30 years ago, and that's how we got here today.
I hear you.
I
Yeah.
worry about people like this. By the way, I've known several people that have next to no like dating life or experience,
Oh,
and you just look at them and you go, I'm worried about you. Like, what's the problem? Get out
Is
there.
that like by choice, or is it like they just haven't met anybody? Because if they're like happy the way they are and they don't want to date and they don't want to meet people,
Well,
that's what it is.
some of them you look at them and you go, no, that makes sense. I get it. Nobody's can bear being with you. One of the
Rough.
people.
Sure.
One of the people.
I think I know what you're talking about.
But some people like I don't know. It's a lot of different reasons. But again, I worry about like listen, if you infrequently date or it's been years since you date, like that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people that have never dated, never put themselves out. Like some people don't date because they dated and they had these horrific experiences and then they just never go back.
right.
Right.
I worry about those people too because I think you should find somebody to share your life with. I think that's really important. But I understand where you're coming from. There are some people that I know that have never even taken the leap.
Never even gone out one on one with someone and.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it's like, boy, I mean,
Oh, so then their story kicks the crap out of this story.
yeah.
Am I wrong?
And I also do know like a couple of those people, like I do know, like I've kind of seen them with somebody every now. Like I don't know if it was I don't know how far they've gone sexually. Not that that matters, but it is part of this overall thing of like, why can't you find a way to share your life with somebody?
Hmm.
Yeah, people are.
Listen,
People
I
are
don't even
mysteries,
know.
everybody has their own path, right, to chart across. You're a man, you're a woman who used to be a man, you're a man, like all that. You find your happiness in life. But I think that one thing is stone cold true is that you have got to find somebody to share your life with. Like, and that's not going to last for your entire life for a lot of people. Some of them are going to lose. Your husband dies, your wife dies, shit's going to happen, divorces, all that stuff is going to happen. But for at least a little while, you have got to share your life with somebody. I
There
just
are
don't think
people.
human beings can last
I
without
get it.
that.
I know what you mean, but there are people out there who devote their lives to they have their friends and they're happy like that. They have that maybe they do charity work and that's their outlet to meet people and to share experiences and they put themselves into their work, and some people are happy being single and doing their own thing, and maybe that's good for them if they're happy doing that.
And listen, much like being a vegetarian, that can't last too long. You know what I'm saying?
For you and for me, but for a lot of people, not a lot of people, but I'm sure there are some people that are just fine without.
I know a couple of people that are like, and they've dated and whatever, and I don't know too much about their history, but they're like, I'm happy with myself. I'm happy, do what I'm doing, and I go, I'm good. I'm happy. You're happy. However, I feel like you would be even happier
Right.
sharing your life with somebody. you know, because I don't know if
'Cause
there's a
it
greater
works.
thrill in life.
Because it works
than-
for you, and it works for me, and it works for a lot of people.
You're right.
Probably most people.
But can I tell you where I think you and I are disagreeing here? I think
No.
it is a natural instinct in human beings to
I think
find
that's, yeah.
connection in others.
I guess, yeah.
Mm.
I mean, but yeah, like I said though, some people like to find that connection with friends or family. You know, it doesn't mean that they have to. There are some people who don't want to have a romantic partner. There are people that don't want, are not looking for that. I'm sure there are people out there out of the 7 and somewhat billion people. I'm sure there are a bunch that are like, I'm fine living and living by myself, doing my own thing. I have my friends, I have my family. I go out, have a social life. I just don't want, anybody else in my world. There are people like that, I'm sure.
I'm sure they are. Listen to
We don't
Christine.
understand it because it's not our thing, but people do it. I'm sure.
There's a lot of people who are asexual, which
Right.
I don't even know how that could be.
And people, I guess, that just they just don't. They're not into it. They just don't like, doing that. I guess everybody's different. Everybody's got their own, like you said, their own path. So some people have that path.
I worry about those
they're
people.
Okay with it.
Christine, I know a husband and wife that live in separate homes, but they're married and take turns to which house to spend the night in.
Okay.
That's certainly a bizarre one, but if it works
So
for
wait,
them,
if they're in separate homes, they spend the night together. Wait, so they live in 2 homes, but
they live in 2 homes, yeah. And then I guess
not
they
with each
swap
other
homes.
though.
Yeah, I guess not.
But
You know
every
what?
now and then they go and stay at the other ones.
I kind of know. I know a couple of people that have significant others. They live maybe like an hour away, 45 minutes away, and they see each other on the weekends or whatever, and like that kind of works for them. I'm not saying you got to be up the ass of the person that you're with, like my wife and I are, but you got to have that person. And listen, sometimes it's a sibling, sometimes it's a friend, that's important to have too. But I think those are all substitutes for finding somebody to be like,
Maybe.
because when shit goes down and wrong, that's when you need that significant other the most,
Oh, absolutely, and that it works wonders for a lot of people, most
Yeah.
of the world. But again, I feel like there are a few people. I'm not saying it's the majority, but there are some people that prefer to have their own world, their own stuff, and their own whatever, and they have their friends and they have their family. But maybe there are people out there that just don't want to do the whole relationship thing. I don't know.
It's
You
a
know,
pain
it's
in the
just-
ass. I'll tell you that. Relationships, finding people,
Whoa.
dating. It's a pain.
Dating could be until you
Dating
get
is
that right
pain.
person. Dating is like, ugh.
Yeah, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
I think that
I know, right? It must be. Ugh, I hated dating. Oh wait,
I think the juice is worth the squeeze. Even though it could be a big pain in the ass to do. Always good to go out there and find that significant other. But again, I know, like I said, 1 or 2 people that literally never tried out of the gate, just never ever tried, and it feels like I
And
don't
they have
know.
no interest in trying.
I never really talked. Well, one of them, I can't stand them. I wouldn't fucking talk to them about it anyway. But the other person, I don't know. I'm also close to. I don't want to say who it is, the other person, but I worry about. Like, I'm too embarrassed to ask them about it now. Like,
wait,
like,
you still talk to them?
yeah, one of the people, yeah.
I'm trying
I
to
know
think
them.
of the person. I'm trying to think of the person that you and I know, and I don't know. I don't think we're thinking of the same person. But you tell me off the air who it is.
I'll put it in the chat for you right now. We worked in the same industry, so does that narrow it down for you?
It does, but if we're thinking of the same person, then this person was the person I'm thinking of was married and has a kid.
Mm-mm.
Okay, then I don't.
He was in the same industry as us, and I do not like them.
Oh, I know who it is. I knew who it is before you
Oh.
even said it. I was thinking
Really?
of this person.
That's interesting.
And then there's the other person, which is why I don't want to say exactly who it is.
I only got the got it.
I worry about him, because you're kind of like, what are you doing? Find somebody to just,
Right.
you know, how do you not take that leap? And like me, old, his younger sibling, older sibling, other
If they're
people,
happy,
maybe.
I mean, if they're not happy and they're looking for someone and they just can't find someone, that's different. But if they're like satisfied and like I don't want that, then that's what it is.
You know what kills me
Mhm.
is I'll never know. Are they really happy, or are they
Mm.
just putting that
Right.
out there?
Right.
There's no way of knowing. You'll
I
just
think
never
that
know.
I think one of these people you could talk to. No,
I could. I just can't share feelings with people.
I
It's
see.
tough.
Got it. I mean, you're not an Eagles coach.
Unless they come on the podcast, it's easy to do it here. When you're just face to face with somebody in real life, it's horrifying.
Unless you were coaching the Eagles.
What if
No,
they start crying and
right.
they want a hug? I'm not gonna be able to handle
All
that.
right, it's gonna be okay.
Like I've said before, like 10 times a day, I think about calling my parents and telling how much I love them. I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't fucking do it. But I have no
Wow.
problem admitting that on this show. It's just so much easier here.
You gotta open up a little more, dude. You just gotta.
Yeah, just get tamper it all down though, like the Eagles coach
healthy.
should have done.
It's not healthy. You gotta let it out sometimes.
DMB challenge update. Let's talk about this.
All right, so the song I'm working on is Satellite.
We'll start from the beginning. We
No,
said
that's the beginning.
we said you were shitting on Dave Matthews, and I said he's a really good guitar player, and you probably can't play his stuff. So then you were like, I could do it. Let me just say this too, Frank.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
shocked at you, and I said this to you
Shocked?
in the chat. Yeah, because I go, you're like, what song? And I'm like, I don't know. Let me give you a couple. And you're like, all right, how many do I have to learn? And I'm in my mind, I'm like, I don't know. You want to learn like 2 or 3? And you're like, 1. I'm like, okay, how long do you need? Like a week or whatever? And you're like, I need like 3 weeks. I was shocked. Can I just tell people I have seen Frank walk into a music store.
There's a difference though.
Hold on. Having never seen this man for the 30 some odd years I know him play a violin, I've seen him walk into a music store, pick up a violin, and start playing riffs of fucking violin rock songs and shit like that. Like, he is a virtuoso, and he sat there, and I feel like you're sandbagging me and the audience, for that matter.
What do you mean I'm sandbagging you?
Like, you're giving yourself all this extra time when you know you can do it. There's almost no challenge.
No,
like, I'm
I can't-
shocked to hear you need this much time.
Well, here's the thing. How long has it been now? A week?
It's been probably over a week.
A little over a week.
Yeah,
I picked up the guitar and tried maybe twice. So it's not out of. I said 2 or 3 weeks, not out of. It's going to take me that long. I said it out of laziness and out of. I'm barely going to try.
You take a lot of naps these days. I mean, how much?
I do take naps. Naps are wonderful.
Okay, it was 11 days ago.
I've literally picked up the guitar twice to do this for about 10 minutes each.
And I gave them Best of What's Around, Satellite, Tripping Billies, and a song called Rooftop, and I let them decide.
Yeah, I picked Satellite. And to be honest, the big thing with Dave Matthews songs I've noticed is he's got this stretchy.
Oh yeah.
He does the ultimate like stretchy finger riffs that especially when he's plucking, he's playing just one note riffs. So it's a little. I'm working on stretching a little bit, but
It's a little.
Do you play the flute too, Frank?
I guess. I mean, I've played the. Depends on what kind of flute. Like if
the
you're
skin
make
flute.
A joke,
The
I
skin
knew it.
flute.
I walked right into that one.
How are you even answering?
I don't even know why I answered that. But with Dave Matthews, I never said he was a bad guitar player. I said I can't stand his singing.
It's a little. What's his playing? It's a little.
It's a little complex. It is.
Good.
It is. I'm not gonna lie. It's he's all over the place with the fingering. That's what she said. But
where's she when you need her?
Right. But it's not impossible, and It's just my biggest complaint with Dave Matthews music is the singing. Just I can't understand what he's saying half the time, and it sounds like he's yodeling. You know, and
Yeah.
yodeling's fine, but and the music I like. You know, music's okay. It's just I like my taste in music is a little edgier. I like a
Yeah,
little
but the
edgier.
music is great. You should at least be. How many songs of? I gave you 4. How many did you really listen to?
I listened to all of them.
You
I've heard
listened to
all of
all
them.
4 of them?
Yeah,
Okay. And you didn't like
not
any
all the
of
way
them?
through, but
Did you like
no,
any
they
of them,
were
or were you like,
okay.
this is all dog shit?
I don't think it was dog shit. Again, I'm not a listen. I'm not a huge like. I'll go to the concerts and with the t-shirts fan, but you know, just because it's a little sappy and like I just need a little more edge to my music, and you know, once he starts singing, I'm out of it. I'm like, all right. It just ruins it for me. I'm
I can't
sorry.
argue with that. He doesn't have a great voice. He does in some instances, a lot of instances. It's
Yeah, there's a few songs where I could tolerate the singing, and it's like he just does a nice job with it. But there are songs where, like, if you looked at his sheet music for his singing, it's like probably like this.
yeah.
You
Well,
know, notes are all over the place.
if you listen to live recordings, he is famous for just not knowing the lyrics to his own songs and just mumbling absolute gibberish into the microphone.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I'm anything live. I'm sure it's and I'm like, you know, it's like playing a record backwards. It's whatever the sound, and that's you know what, I can't fault someone for not knowing that. You know, there's people that play the same lyrics over and over. They still you slip up every now and then, but as long as you get the sound right, you'll be okay. Like what is it? 90% of is what you. I forget what the breakdown is, but like there's people only pay attention to like 80% of how you sound, then like 5% of what you're saying, and then there's something else to it, like how you look is some of it, and
Yeah.
you know, there's but so if you sound good, you know, you could be saying gibberish and it's all right.
Well, they say, yeah, melody, right? Just get the melody down. The lyrics don't really matter that much, you
Right.
know?
And the other thing I'll give him, you know, is it's it's one of the hardest things to do is sing and play at the same time because it's two different melodies. You know, if you're
Right.
playing, usually if you're playing the guitar, the melody of what you're playing is in your head. So it's hard to come out, it's hard to spit out of your mouth a different melody at the same time
Mm-hmm.
because you got the guitar in your head. So thinking of it and singing it a different thing is way different. So that's hard. And my hat's off to anybody that can do that.
But I mean, I have to say this, though. And you know, I like Metallica. I love Metallica. But it is a little on the basic side where it is just your rhythm section, your bass and drums,
Well, there's four guys in the band.
and it's a guitar, a lead, and a rhythm
It's a
guitar.
metal band. They don't have
Yeah.
a
But
guy on violin and three guys on guitar and
that's the thing. Like you listen to it, Dave, there's so many layers to it. There's yes, bass and drums, but then there's the violin going in one direction. There's sax and trumpet going in another direction. He's
yeah,
playing his guitar. There's a piano. Like there's so much to it.
I get it, but they have. Hey, listen, you want more than I? Listen to the S&M albums. You know the orchestra ones.
That is my absolute favorite Metallica. I never want to tell you this because I feel like you get mad at me, but I listen to that album the
They're great.
most.
They just came out with the new one. They did last August. They did S&M 2.
Yes.
So
Yeah. What was the deal? But that was a lot. There was a lot of the same songs on there, though.
yeah, they did a few of the same symphony ones, but they added you know the new album stuff and whatever.
Mm.
You know,
I still love No Leaf Clover. And what was the other one that was new on that?
Human.
Yeah, it's good songs.
That was
Man.
good. They never play that one outside of the. I never really hear that without the orchestra. I don't know if they played that anymore.
Which is sad. Jimmy Coco Pop Metallica needs a banjo. Agreed. I
Alright.
agree.
Alright.
Put a little banjo in there in
See
Metallica.
that?
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
know. I think wouldn't that be something if Metallica played with Dave Matthews?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Fucking Dave Grohl and Dave Matthews took a picture together. Everybody's still buzzing about it, like being a thing.
Yeah, well, Dave Grohl, his music, I think, is leans a little more pop than it does to the heavy side.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Where do you
I
put
think
Foo Fighters? You don't like them or no?
I like a little bit of their stuff. I'm a very my taste in music. A lot of it is riff based
Mhm.
instead of the same four chords back and forth. Most music you can play with the same four chords, but with like Metallica has all these different riffs. Every song is a different riff, different riff. Every song sounds different. Um, but Foo Fighters, uh, a lot of I like a lot of their songs, but every now and then you hear a song that's like, seems like a little boilerplate stuff. Very, very ordinary a little bit.
Ouch.
I'm sorry.
Good Dog Motovlog says Frank should play Human. I bet you Frank could play any Metallica song.
I could play most of
Yeah.
the riffs of Metallica song. Yeah,
If we came on one night and he had his guitar and everybody just shouted out a song in the chat, he'd be able to play it for you. There's no doubt in my mind.
I think I could.
Yeah.
There's a few complicated ones that I haven't mastered yet, but for the most part,
I think you'd have
they
it
got
down.
9 or 10 albums. For the most part, I could do them.
Raven, shoot him doing hard rock banjo. Listen, I think if we gave Frank a banjo right now, he would be able to play you a couple songs within a few minutes.
Give me a banjo.
That's why this whole I need 4 weeks to play a Dave Matthews song, I think, is total bullshit.
It's laziness. That's all it is.
Mm.
This isn't. If I had a day off and I did nothing but play this song, I'd have it for you in a day.
Don't think it's too
I'm telling you
complicated?
the truth. I literally picked up the guitar twice for 10 minutes each since we've talked about this.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much I put into this so far. But I'll have it for you.
Who's the better drummer, Lars from Metallica or Carter Beauford from Dave Matthews?
Skill wise, I'd say Dave Matthews drummer, but technique. Dave Matthews probably has a better technique. But in terms of originality, I'd go with Lars.
I think that's about that. First of all, you gave it more credit than I thought you would. So you've shown growth today. This is
I'm telling you, Lars.
12-year-old Frank would not have said that. That's growth.
But you talk about the different types of every song. If you took away all of the other instruments and you played just Lars on the drums, I'd be able to probably tell you what song he's playing. That's why, you know what I mean? It sounds unique for every song, whatever he's doing.
Mm-hmm.
With Dave Matthews stuff, I mean, he's got a lot of the timing is unique and everything, but I feel like it's very similar sounding in terms of what he's doing in each song. I mean, it's all complicated stuff and hard to do.
I don't think you've listened to enough of it, but listen,
Maybe not.
I'm going to take what I can
true.
get.
That's a good point.
I'm going to take what I can get. That was a big omission today, and I appreciate it.
No
I'll tell you what could get what is fucked up. Drummer TikTok. You get stuck on drum TikTok, where there's just some dude in their basement, and they're like playing along. I can't help but watch it. I friggin' love watching it.
Yeah.
Even the not so complicated stuff. You know who's ridiculous, who I've really fallen in love with a lot because of just to watch him, Stuart Copeland.
Yeah.
Like always a big fan, but watching Stuart Copeland play is insanely better than listening to the Police.
Who's the one from Godsmack? I forget his name.
Sully?
No,
he's
drummer.
The lead guy. The actual I don't know what the drummer's name is, but the dueling
he's awesome
drumming bit that Godsmack does is insane.
Oh, that is great. If anybody gets to see it, just go on YouTube. It's on YouTube. The dueling Battle of the Drums, it's called, and it's Godsmack. It's the lead singer and the drummer, and they play like a 10-minute battle back and forth. It's really good.
It's so fun the way they do it too, because the drummer's back there, and then all of a sudden this remote control drum kit on a stand comes wheeling out. Sully's on it, and they point at each other, and they just play. Oh, it's insanely good.
It's very good.
Yeah, Sully's very, very talented.
He plays every instrument.
Good Day Motovlog. We're going to wrap up here with this one. Give us all 3 DMB songs to listen to I'm gonna ask a penetrating question here. Yeah, I need more than that. You want happy songs? You want love songs? You want rockin' songs? You got to give me a little bit more than that. Like, it's hard to, you know, it's hard to put DMB into a 3-song category.
If you had to introduce someone
to them,
Dave Matthews, what are the top 3 you'd say? Here, listen to these, and you'll be a fan.
I mean, it's so hard. I mean, this is a question I could pose to you too. What do you do in that situation? Do you give them the songs that were big hits because that's the most likable shit, or do you give them the deeper track stuff that you fucking love that you're like, holy, like?
I would, in my opinion, for Metallica, I'd give one, maybe one pop song, and then the other 2, I would give the ones that got me into it, which would be Master Puppets and probably One. I'd say listen to these songs, and then maybe enter Sandman. If not enter Sandman, if I don't go the pop route, then I would say Disposable Heroes, really deep track from Master Puppets album. And if you're into heavy, crazy metal, that's up your alley. That's my dog bark.
You just gave it 3. Give it again now, because I wasn't paying attention. I was so into my Dave thoughts.
Master Puppets, One, and I would interchange. If you don't want to go the pop route with Enter Sandman, I would say Disposable Heroes.
Okay,
those are really good.
All right, I'm gonna follow Frank's formula. I'm gonna give you a pop hit. I'm gonna give you the song that really got me into them, and I'm gonna think of trying to think of a deep track that'll be appealing. This is not easy, Frank. I feel like I need 6 hours for this.
What's the one that I did the impression of?
No, that's the impression you do. What is that like?
No. Remember that specific song from a few months ago?
Ants Marching? Oh, from a few months ago.
Yeah, there was a song that you said, and you said, "Oh, you got to hear this one." I think it may have been even new. I don't know.
Yeah, it's new, Madman's Eyes.
But it wasn't that song. I said, "Oh, it probably sounds like this," and it was one word. It's a one-word song.
I don't remember.
People in the chat might know what it is, and I did the impression. It's a short.
Oh, Bartender.
Bartender. There you go.
Bartender.
Is that a relatively new one?
No. That's an old one.
That's an old one. Okay.
Bartender.
Bartender.
That fucking makes me laugh every time.
I should learn that one.
It really does. All right. Shit. Okay, I'm gonna go with a pop song off of their album Every Day, because that was their biggest pop hit album. That was the album where they were the Dave Matthews Band, and then they decided we need to make a pop album that everybody's gonna like and enjoy, and that's the one that they made, and it sold the best.
Right.
So I'm gonna go with I Did It. That was a big pop hit in 2001.
All right.
I'm gonna say I Did It. The song that just locked me into them was a song called Gray Street.
Okay.
And those are 2 pretty up-tempo, big hit songs.
I Did It in Gray Street.
Yeah. Okay. I Did It, Gray Street. And for a deep cut, man, this is so hard.
It's tough.
It is.
I'm getting a request for me to do a few bars of I Did It. Let me get I did it. Something like that. Never heard it. Don't know what it is.
That's not Jimmy Fallon doing Adam Sandler. I thought you were gonna do I Did It.
A little Ned Flanders in there.
Okay, I'm gonna do. All right, this is what I got. I Did It. Gray Street, and a song called Number 41.
Yeah, going back to like When we were younger, you loved that freaking song.
What, 41?
41, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song. And you could listen to it on the Crash album, or there was an album that they put out in 1999. It was their first live record called Listener Supported. They have a version on there that is quite lovely.
Nice.
So that's a good one too.
Where did I hear? I feel like Dave Matthews was on something like in a movie, and I feel like I heard him do the diddly. Like he made fun of himself.
Yeah,
That's probably where I got the impression from.
a bunch of stuff. He was in a movie called Because of Winn-Dixie, I think it was called, where he played a weirdo like that. And then on House, he played a weirdo like what are they, like an idiot savant, but not an idiot savant, like one of those kind of weird, like he's mentally handicapped, but you put him in front of a piano and he's amazing. I don't know what you call that.
Gotcha.
He played that on House, and he did the same kind of that kind of shit.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard that somewhere, and I probably just co-opted it. So if my impression is a little borrowed, so
Yeah,
I think.
no, you're all good.
All right.
That Because of Winn-Dixie was terrible.
Was it?
Yeah, it's like, oh, Dave Matthews in a movie. I'm like, I gotta watch it. And then you're sitting there and you're like, it's about a girl and a dog. It's fucking horrific. He plays like the Lenny character who likes to pet the rabbits. It's so
God.
fucking weird and just awful. But he's proud of it, so whatever.
All right.
We'll go with it for now.
I feel like he was in a Sandler movie or something like that.
Oh yeah, he's been in a couple. Sandler loves him. He was in played a gay character in, I don't even know which one it is now. It's hard to tell.
Was he in Blended or something?
It might have been Blended.
Mm.
Yeah, it might have been Blended. That's what I was gonna say. Would they go to Hawaii or some shit like that? Was that
Right.
Blended?
I think so. Maybe.
Yeah, I think he's been in more than a couple. Anyway, that's
Yeah.
it. That's the show. You good?
There's a show. That's a show.
Yeah, it's a good show. Programming note: next week, no show Wednesday. So maybe we'll do a Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see.
Right.
And then Friday's going to be a little bit of an interesting thing because I'm going into the city for the podcasting thing. So I don't know what we're going to do and when, but we'll figure that out.
Friday. Next
Friday. That is. Yeah.
Right.
We will be here with you this Friday,
though. Yeah.
That's it. That's all I got.
That is good.
You
I think
have
that's enough.
3 Metallica songs and 3 Dave Matthews songs to listen to.
You got your homework.
There you go. We're all set. Don't forget to become a member. Catch you guys on the next.
Show me potato salad. Maybe we should go now.